what is the process map? Right. So process map, these are all visual tools. All these maps are basically visual tools, and we'll see how they differ from each other slightly. A process map is a visual tool again. We have heard about flowcharts, diagrams, and things like that. So it outlines specific steps, stakeholders, and workflow of a business process from start to finish. So if you look at the chart on the right hand side, this is basically a sales process. So you have a starting point, you check, you start generating leads, then you validate. There is an algorithm that goes in, if yes, then what, if no, then what. If yes, then you move forward. If no, then you capture the details and close the loop, and so on. So it keeps on going. So if the lead is validated, then it is passed on to, uh, you know, uh, the pre-sale, the sales team for a sales visit. You capture certain details and things like that. So it's a logical flowchart. So process map is nothing but your flowchart. It is used to document, analyze, and improve efficiency by identifying bottlenecks. So if so, you it helps you define that standard operating process that you need to do this. For example, I always give this example to my daughter. Let's say there is a delivery that happens from Amazon. So they have a very clear SOP that if the person is not available, then what to do, right? If the person refuses to take the delivery, what to do? If the person, uh, uh, if it is a cash on delivery kind of a shipment, and how long should he wait, right? If it is a return shipment, then what he should be checking. So there is a clear SOP for different order types, for different situations and things like that. So it's like it helps you perform your day-to-day work efficiently, bring in clarity at each level as to what is expected for you to deliver on your work, and uh, improve efficiency in all the activities, or any of the activities that you might be performing, right? It also helps you identify redundancies and improvement opportunities. Once you draw this flow chart, obviously there would be a feedback that would be coming in. These are some of the things that are working, or you need to tweak a little bit and things like that. So these are typically three types of things, maps. The first one is the flow chart, the second one is the swim lane diagram, and we'll see what that swim lane diagrams are. And the third one is the tip-off diagram. So we'll also see what is tip-off diagram. So this is an example of simple flow chart. So the example given here is a sales order process flow chart, right? So we all understand flowchart. If then else kind of statements, and if this happens, and if it is a yes, then we go forward. If it is a no, then what to do and things like that. So it's a simple algorithm that works. What is swim lane diagram? So it's basically runs across different departments, and it gives you a clear picture as to who has to do what, right? So in this example, place a product order and confirm if the order is received by the sales team. Check the inventory. So the person managing the uh, stores checks on the inventory, is the product in stock. If it is a no, then it goes back to the sales team and things like that. And then you act up appropriately, or the sales team informs the customer. If yes, then you go to the finance, do a credit check, and then you process the order, and then you know uh, you uh, get a credit okay from the finance team. They process the payment, and your orders are ready to dispatch. And finally, you uh, dispatch it and deliver it to the customer. The customer receives it, and then Again, there could be a further flow of customer making the payments and things like that. So basically, it runs across what a swim lane is. It's like it comes from the word swim. So you are swimming across different departments uh, seamlessly, and you get very clear picture as to who has to perform what. Right? So that's also a process map. So essentially, we are mapping a process and we are fixing up responsibilities, which function, which person, and things like that, who has to do what, basically, right? So we looked at flowchart, we looked at swim lane diagram, and the third popular one is a SIPOC diagram. SIPOC stands for suppliers, inputs, process, output, and customer. So it starts from supplier. I'll also give you an example in the upcoming slide. But essentially, the provider of inputs to your process. So who is a supplier? He could be your, let's say, if it is a customer complaint, the supplier could be a customer also, right? So basically, what we need to understand is it's the provider of inputs to your process, right? Then, so we define the supplier. We also define the inputs coming in from that supplier, and then you have a process to address certain uh, thing. You might have 5 or 7 major steps from start to end, and then basis that input and the process, you will have an output, and then that output is shared with the end customer. So just to give you an example, so I've taken the relevant example from the paints company only because we are going to talk about paints in our case study. So I thought it would be only appropriate to bring this. So a superb diagram for a paint production planning company would look something like this. So chemical vendors are the suppliers. The input would be uh, raw pigments, resins, solvents, and then there would be a whole lot of process. At there is a demand forecasting, MRP, batch scheduling, manufacturing, finally finish and packaging. And then you'll have certain outputs, and it goes back to the customers. So customers could be your internal sales team, it could be warehouses, it could be your production team, it could be your retailers and distributors, and it could be the applicators or the professional contractors who actually apply the paint. So similarly, there could be multiple suppliers giving you multiple inputs. Uh, they control the same uh, process. A chemical vendor versus a packaging supplier, it will go through same process of demand forecasting, MRP, and things like that, right? And uh, finally, you have an output which is shared with the customers or making it more relevant uh, as an information or an actionable or delivery of products to the customer. So this is an example of SIPOC diagram. So this is the first kind of map. So we talked about process map. So process map could be, just as a quick recap, it could be a flow chart, a simple flow chart running right from start to the end with various scenarios built in. It could be a swim lane diagram wherein you start at a certain point and it runs across different stakeholders within the organization or outside the or external to the organization as well. And then you have a third type of process map, which is a SIPOC kind of process diagram, right? So that's the process map.